Alright, real quick, before you click off this video, I know it's kind of a clickbaity title because clearly my 240 is right there, but the car was stolen. I just have it back now. So this is going to be sort of the story of what happened to my 240 all the way through. So obviously I painted it, and then it got stolen, and I clearly got it back. Before I start this video though, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications. I know a bunch of you guys that are watching are subscribers, but there are a few of you that aren't, and I'm right on the cusp of 11,000 subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and join us along for working on these shit boxes. So excuse me, I'm going to be looking at my phone for some references throughout this video, sort of to get rough dates and everything, because I don't remember everything exactly. But I bought this car 2-something years ago now. I made a couple videos on it right before I stopped uploading for a while, and then I went away. So clearly a bunch of stuff got done, mostly just paint work and other cosmetic stuff, nothing really that major though. I bought this car pretty much bone stock. It was an automatic, plain old grandma car, gold. I'll put up pictures as I talk about it. And then in about June of last year, so about a year ago today, or a year ago from now, my buddy Austin, shouts out to you Austin, hooked me up with a Rocket Bunny V1 body kit, which is actually from before Rocket Bunny was called Rocket Bunny. I think it's technically like a 6666 customs kit, but I didn't end up fitting that kit until about July. It didn't need a whole lot of work. It fit pretty nice, and I just did the front bumper, the side skirts, and the rear bumper. The front bumper had some damage that I fixed, and besides that, it was just basic fiberglass fitting of bumpers and side skirts. They all fit pretty nice though. I mean, like the rear bumper is pretty much a bolt-on thing once I drilled the holes for it. Same thing with the front bumper and the side skirts. I mean, they were really nice. I mean, they were genuine parts, so it's not that big of a surprise, but it was quite pleasant getting them all fit. So, since it was my daily driver, I was riding around daily with it, looking all multicolored, typical 240 fashion. I also got a Rep 240 kooky wing and fit that on there as well, which they stole when they stole a car, so I need to get one of those again because I really like the look of them. So I rolled around, looks like for about a month with the kit looking like that, and it was kind of driving me crazy, to be honest, to be rolling around with a half-finished looking car. And come August, it was about the end of August, my wife Monet went to, August 20th, went to a conference for about a week in Florida, I believe. And so pretty much every day after work that week, I spent until midnight working on this car, sanding it down, getting it ready for paint. I did that all at my work in the body shop and just cleaned up myself afterwards. And the day she got back is the day we sprayed. So I did everything. I sprayed the primer, and then I bugged my painter to get him to come in, spray base coat and clear, because I'd never done it before. And I wanted it to come out looking really nice. So I figured that was probably the best route of doing that. So the day she got back, we sprayed base and clear on the car, and we were in the booth till like 1 in the morning or something. Super long night, or actually it was longer than that, it was like 2:30. Super long night, but super exciting. We sprayed the whole car at the same time, and along with the kit, you know, the wing and the side skirts, bumpers, that sort of stuff. You know, and we did everything proper. We didn't shoot the jams. That was actually going to be a separate session, and we just didn't get to that before the car was stolen. So clearly I couldn't do that right away. I needed to daily drive the car because it was my daily driver. So I was driving it. August 24th is the day we put color on the car, and from there I was daily driving it, and it was awesome. Got tons of looks and thumbs ups, and people give me props for the car. The car looked sick. I mean, it was so nice, such a nice clean paint job. My painter's super good at what he does, and we did all the prep proper and everything, so the car came out looking killer. I wet sanded and buffed the doors, the quarter panels, and the fenders. I never got to the hood or the trunk lid or the roof or any of the body kit. And let's see, I can probably figure out when the car was stolen pretty easily. If I look through my phone, it's just full of pictures of the car. I also mounted these Volk wheels right away after I got the car painted. Right now they're only on the front of the car because I went to a drift event, not to drive, but just to spectate, hang out with some friends. And on my way back, this was like 2 days or like a week after I painted the car, I had a blowout on one of the rear tires, so that was fun. Totally thought I blew out part of my body kit, but I got lucky, didn't hurt anything. On October 11th, I swapped out the taillights for some kooky taillights. They were in pretty rough shape, but I used some like VHT nightshades or whatever just on the black section to blacken them out again because they were real faded. They came out pretty nice. They're still on the car. They're pretty chipped up now. The thieves like pried at them to try to get the trunk open. They still look okay for a distance. I'll probably run them for now, but just a bit of a bummer. Here's a picture of proof that I was daily driving the car. This is October 29th of last year. Looking fresh in the snow, which is ridiculous to drive a car that low with a fiberglass bumper in the snow, but that's what you do when you live in Colorado. So, I don't remember the exact date my car was stolen, but it was around the beginning of December for sure, because on December 10th, well, let me back up a little bit. Sometime in the beginning of December, I walk out of my apartment. I was going in early to work, so I walked out around 6 a.m. I'm walking towards my car, and I get to the street, because there's a street parked, and I'm like, where's my car? I'm like, did I park it over here? So I walked down a little ways, wasn't there. Okay, I guess my car got stolen last night. Just, why else would it be gone? So I walked back inside, sat down on the bed. My wife was like, what are you doing? Why are you here? And I was like, I think my car's stolen. She sort of like freaked out at how calm I was, but I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I called the police, and they said they'd send someone out right away. And then while I was waiting for them to go out, I found a bunch of good pictures of my car, threw them on the local Facebook car pages, because I just knew the local guys would be keeping an eye out for a car like that. So I wanted people to notify me if they saw it. So I got a couple of hits that same day from people saying, oh, I saw it driving on this highway, at 7 a.m. this morning, which is right by my place. So I'm guessing they stole it pretty early in the morning, because they were driving near my place around 7 o'clock. And that was a bit of a bummer, just like, well, and after that first day, I think like 2 or 3 people saw it the first day. No one saw it for like 3 or 4 days. And then a couple days later, someone tagged me in a post, and someone saw my car driving on I-25, which is like the most major highway through Denver. Girl driving it. And I'm like, oh shit, that's my car. This was December 10th that the guy saw it. I end up getting in contact with the guy that posted the picture because he's like, I'm pretty sure this is the car that was stolen. And he put his phone number out there for me to call him. So I called him. He's on the phone with the cops, following them for about 45 minutes up the major highway and then merged onto another highway. And he's on the phone with the cops pretty much the whole time, following them at like 65, 75 miles an hour. They never caught up. The cops never caught up to them or anything, so the car ended up getting away. She noticed that he was following her and like blew through a bunch of red lights and stuff after getting off the highway. The weeks kept going by. The car was spotted a number of times more, and then about a week later, I got a comment at about 3 in the morning that a abandoned S14, dark color like mine, was just like 3 miles down the road behind some sketchy restaurant, and it looked like it was all stripped of parts and stuff. I was like, oh shit, that's gotta be my car. I jumped out of bed at like 3:30, hauled ass down there as fast as I could. What? Come here.
Say hello. Okay, down here.
Where was I? I hauled ass down to that restaurant, and I pulled around back, and I saw the car, and I was like, oh my god, there's my car. And then I turned a little bit, shined my headlights on it, and it was purple. I was like, damn it, what the hell? And I still sort of thought it was my car, but like they spray painted it. It was a pretty rough paint job. But as I got closer, it was not my car. And it was a 240, smashed windshield, hood gone, wing ripped off, like same deal, back bumper gone, side skirt ripped. It was all totally trashed. And Actually, I called it into the cops because it looked like it was stolen, and that car was stolen as well and abandoned there. So I don't know, just weird bad luck / good luck for the other guy. I don't know, but found a different stolen 240 while looking for my stolen 240. So about a week after that happened, I got a call from my insurance company, and they're like, "So we heard that they found your car. The police found your car." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about? I haven't heard anything." And they're like, "Oh, you haven't? They usually contact the owner first." And I was like, well, "No, I haven't heard anything." So I started freaking out. I was so excited, like, oh, my car got recovered. Started calling the police department and everything. Super stoked about it. And on the phone with them for like an hour and a half, and they didn't find my car. The insurance company like mixed me up or something. I don't even know what ended up happening, why that ended up happening, but that was like the biggest bummer ever. I got so excited that they found my car, and then an hour later, nope, car's still stolen. The car periodically got seen, and they'd be like, "Oh, I just saw it driving this way on this road," and it was always in the same area, which an area of Denver that I'm not surprised that it was cruising around in. But no one ever, it was always like, "Oh, he's going the other direction. I just saw him drive by." And I mean, there's not very many S14s in this color. It's a Jeep color with mismatched wheels and, looking like that, cruising around. So people were pretty sure when they saw it that it was my car. But about a week after my insurance called me and told me that they found my car, I got a call from the police department. They actually recovered my car, and I was so stoked. So I was like elated, so happy, but then also sort of bummed because I'm like, oh God, what kind of condition is it going to be in? The police found it abandoned and towed it to their impound yard, as they do with all stolen cars, and I went to go pick it up. In order to pick up a car, I had to have license plates for it because they stole the license plates off it, and they won't let you out of the yard without license plates if you're driving the car, which is just super frustrating. And I brought my work truck and my work trailer, so I was just gonna tow it home. I didn't know much about it. I didn't know what was gonna be wrong with it or anything. And in order to get it out of the lot to put it on a tow truck, even if you can drive it out, you still have to have a plate. Unless you pull it out of the lot with one of their own like sanctioned tow companies. It's just a bunch of bullshit logistics and stuff. So I ended up arguing with the lady at the front desk. She ended up making an exception for me to let me drive it out without my license plates because I was just going to drive it right onto the trailer. I went in to go start it up, and I cranked it, and it fired like one cylinder off and then wouldn't run at all. So I argued with that lady for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and got her to break her own rules, and then I had to get one of those tow trucks to pull it out anyway. So I had to pay like $60 for a guy to pick up my car from the lot, drive out like 30 yards, and then drop it in front of my trailer. So that was dumb. That was on December 23rd, so 2 days before Christmas. Christmas miracle, right? So when I recovered the car, it had damage on pretty much every panel. Look at this picture to remind myself. The front bumper's destroyed. Cracked in the middle, which isn't that big of a deal, but the whole bottom of it's like shattered and cracked in multiple places. It's cracked like at the mounting points from them smashing it into the ground really hard, and the whole bumper like flexing in. So that's cool. The whole thing is covered in spider cracks, like all the paint is destroyed from them flexing it so much. Both front fenders have paint damage on them. The hood's in good shape as far as I remember. One of the mirrors has the black plastic surround cracked and broken on it. Both side skirts are gone. Both doors have chips on the edges of the doors, like they banged them against shit. The trunk is in pretty bad shape. Just paint damage and damage from them ripping the wing off. It looks like they were prying the trunk open and stuff. Like I said, the taillights are all chipped up. Rear bumper has scratches all over it. I mean, overall, none of the paint damage is like huge. I mean, it looks like it's just been driven for a couple of years. But the thing is, when you just paint a car and you put all this work into it and money into it, and it's perfect, it's pretty disappointing when the car comes back and is in rough shape. Oh, and a couple other things I forgot to mention. The trunk no longer closes. I think I just need to adjust the latch. They messed it up when they were trying to get in, but it should still work. I just haven't messed with it. They blew up the engine. Obviously it didn't run anymore, and I'll get into that in another video, show you guys the carnage in that engine, because I have dug into it a little bit, but I haven't taken it completely apart. And in the interior, they ripped the shifter bezel, which was a brand new OEM one, cracked it in half, which is so annoying just because all you have to do to remove it is just like put your hand in and pop it out. Somehow they managed to break it into multiple pieces, and then they broke the ashtray bezel and the stereo bezel and stole the stereo, which was one of my only videos on this car, so my bad. But I mean, I had the engine and everything built, the long block, while this car was stolen, so luckily I didn't have it in the car. I would have had a lot more money in that car if the engine was in there, because that's pretty much all my money that I have into this car besides the chassis itself. Luckily I did get it back, clearly. Insurance paid me out $9,000 for the car, which is just absurd. The insurance adjuster felt really bad, and he was like, "This car's sick. It looks like it was in really good condition." I'm like, "Yeah, it was in pretty nice condition before they stole it." So somehow, apparently, the drift tax applies to insurance payouts as well. And in the state of Colorado, you get to keep your title clean if you buy your car back and it was just stolen. So that is like double good news. Doesn't have a salvage title, which is pretty cool. That's about it. That's the story of what I did to the 240 since I've been gone, and also what happened with it getting stolen and why the engine was blown up, and etc. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe like I said before, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.